So first trade was on Amazon, second trade was on NVDA. The first trade, the losing trade, I was only in for 2 minutes 40 seconds. It was honestly a forced trade a little bit. It was a quality setup, but the my system didn't tell me to get in yet, and I got in a little bit early, and it ended up hurting me. And then the second trade was on a NVIDIA to the upside, and so we're gonna get into it. So you'll see as we zoom in on here, right here, the next 2-minute candle, it pushed above. So you see my cursor right here moving around, so I was looking for that trade, but then right here I was telling myself, alright, you pushed above the white line, I can no longer take that trade. So I was looking for that trade, but it didn't set up. So then we have Amazon here, and I see Amazon now. Now I'm focused on Amazon. Amazon's pushing into this supply, and that'll be the first trade of the day that we took. So we would have taken a loss right here if we would have taken that short. So I didn't take that. Back to the Amazon. You see here, it pushed high, it pushed up into the zone, and then it rejected. So right here I'm like, okay, we're gonna potentially see that sell-off here. And then you see, if you look at the other stocks, you see that Apple also got a couple rejection candles. Microsoft is looking really weak. This is Google right here. Google's catching a red candle. But my first mistake on the day, and probably why we took the loser, is I was looking to short the strongest stock out of these four top dogs in the S&P. That was my first mistake. So that is something that I could have looked at and not taken the trade on. I could have waited just because this was the strongest stock. But I took the trade, and I took it in 7 seconds. So we'll see. Right here is where I took the trade. So I got into it a little bit early. I like to take the trade. I like to get my entries when we're leaving the zone, because that's when I expect sellers to pop in, and I only want to stick around when I have edge in the market, and that's exactly where I find edge. That's where my entries are. So first mistake was I entered too early, but you see Microsoft was pulling down, Google was pulling down, so it gave me a little bit of confidence to take that short. And also, if you can look at the daily chart and you look back at Monday, September 25th, if you look at that daily chart, which I don't really want to pull it up, we're in a strong downtrend. Like, the market took 2 solid red days in a row. So as far as trend goes, this is a good trade to take because you had a push up, but overall trend is down, so that's a good setup to take. I was going to take it off there, but this is my real stop loss. I was just going to see what was going to work. So in 4 seconds is when I took the trade off. Right here is when I took the trade off. So actually I did use this as my stop loss. This would have been my actual stop loss, but I didn't like how the trade was setting up, and you got these green candles coming in. Buyers were stepping up. Apple wanted to test that supply zone, so I took it off, and it was I think it was $100. Well, let's just look. It was a $100 loser. Okay, so that was the first trade. I shouldn't have been in it. Buyers came in here and they showed their aggression, and they showed that they wanted to stick around. So the mistake on that one. So now so starting off the day, we come into it with a $100 loss, and now we're gonna go into the second trade later on. But I took the trade on NVIDIA right here, so we can see this is a part of my strategy. You push above, consolidate, hold above that midpoint, which is our indicator of strength or weakness. As you can see, Tesla underneath this midpoint is showing weakness, but NVIDIA was one of the strongest stocks on the day in a world full of red the past 2 days. Pushed above, it's showing life, and this, as you know, if you're a trader, if you can read price action, this is a classic, very classic bull flag. So in 2 seconds is actually when I took the trade to the long side. This is at 33.32. I have my notes written down. I took the trade at 33.35. So as long as we held above 420, I had to be in this trade, and I was looking for the consolidation and a push higher. But it was only a 12% winner, so because we didn't get too much of follow through. I was hoping we were going to get more follow through. So right here is when I entered the trade, and it's gonna consolidate for a little bit, so I'm gonna skip forward. It actually, so we were in the, if you remember, going back to the document, back to the trade review, I was in this trade for an average of 11 minutes, so it kind of took a little bit longer to set up than what I thought it would. But as long as it was over 420, I was not supposed to take the trade off, because if I did take the trade off, it'd be out of fear of being wrong, and that's where your trading mistakes come into play. Skipping forward, you see that this says 43.55. I took off 66% of the position at 44.06, so in about 11 seconds, and this is where mistake number 2 comes into play. I took off the majority of the position when I should have held, and I took it off due to fear of going back to break even. So that's a trading mistake. Since I didn't have that risk to reward set up, I had no clue where I wanted to take the profit, and you'll see we have a push higher, so I was in the green about 15%. 10 to 15%, but you'll see that as soon as we got the wicks lower, I had a fear that we would go back and test this 420, so I took off some of the position, which ended up being a mistake. Lastly, here's the final part of the trade. I was only holding one contract, 30% of the position, and I took off the last half right here. Right here is when I took it off. So you see I set up this line, I didn't even follow the line. A little bit of a sloppy trade, but it was a good setup. I saw that the bull flag was setting up. It was a good place to take some risk, and we got some green candles in a row. So if we go back to this, 12% winner, 12% loser. This one should have never even been a trade. Shouldn't have taken it. I took it way too early, little antsy, but we ended the day $30 loss. So if you like this trade review, if you like the videos that I've been making, be sure to hit that subscribe button so I can know that I have a little bit of support in the channel. Hit that like button. Thank you for watching.